It is one of the most unique and beautiful places you can visit, and while it takes hours to travel to, it's definitely worth the trip.
Here to get us out of town to Australia. Island Travel Group's Jennifer Whalen, fresh off a trip to Australia.
Yes, got back.
Can we talk first of all, the flight? Because it seems like it would take like a whole day to get there.
I think everybody flies differently. I'm a very good flyer. I'm a good sleeper. And so, you know, a nap and 2 movies, and we were there. Like, it was, I might as well have been going to Florida, honestly.
Really?
It was wonderful. And then going west, I think most people just don't have, you feel like a rock star because, like, you're up at the crack of dawn and you're ready to roll. Traveling east, totally different story. It took me about 3 days now to get back into the groove. But, yeah, the flight was no problem for me at all. And I had dreaded it.
I'm guessing that's where you got the inflatable kangaroo?
That's where I got him, yes. He just
Did you see any
latched onto me.
real life kangaroos?
I did. So Hunter Valley is where I happened to be, where the kangaroos were everywhere. At dawn and dusk, the kangaroos are just wild. They're hopping around everywhere. I got some great even footage from the air balloon of them hopping, and then obviously just, you know, tootling around.
So it's like our version of the deer.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right?
Exactly what it is, because at you know, at dusk when they start coming out, like one time one came across and the guy said, the tour guide, he's like, oh, when you see more, I'm like, deer. That's how we are.
Is that
crazy.
I don't want to get morbid, but is that like an issue with cars?
Yeah.
Like the same
It
thing
is
with
an
deer?
issue.
Can you even imagine?
Yeah. Of course, they don't have little big horns, which is
Also, they're probably not inflatable like this
right,
one.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, we've got quite a few pictures from your trip, so let's kind of just go on a little vacay here with you. So walk us through what we're seeing.
This is the city of Perth. I feel like Perth is often overlooked, but isn't it beautiful?
It
There's
is.
a wonderful river and bike path and walking trail. Australia, I will say, that's one thing about it. It is totally natural. Like, everything revolves around nature. Their climate throughout Australia, even though Australia is the size of the United States, the climate is very temperate. So everything is like revolving around outdoors, eating outdoors, walking, hiking, bicycling. This is flying into Perth, a beautiful scene. Another thing that you want to do if you're on the West Coast in Perth, although that's another cool thing, is that you may think that if you go to Australia and it's the size of the United States, like you need a month to see it all. But if you just pick one area, just about everything that you would want to do and see, almost everything you can see in one area, whether it's the West Coast or, you know, the South or the East.
And most of the middle of Australia doesn't have a whole lot in it anyway, right? It's fairly remote.
It is, very. So it's well known to be that outback area. But again, very cool things that you can see and do. If you've ever watched The Crocodile Hunter and stuff like that, you know, Field of Lights, you definitely want to see when you go to Uluru and see Ayers Rock. So, but you just need like a night or two there.
Did you get a selfie with the little critter you're holding?
I did. So this is one of the most popular things to do when you are in Perth, is get a selfie with the quokka. This is famous. If you Google this, there's a lot of selfies with the quokka.
With a real one or with a stuffed one?
With real ones.
Oh.
On Rottnest Island. Like, you can get right up. I did have a friend get bit on her cheek a little bit. So you got to be a little, you know, cautious about their space.
Get a selfie and
but
rabies with a
They're just
quokka.
roaming all around everywhere. You just walk up to them and you get a selfie. And they have little joeys like kangaroos do. And so we saw some that had little babies. It was so cute.
So you could pick them up wild?
No,
like
you can't pick them up.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
And you're not supposed to touch them, but you don't touch them. Like, you
just
get close.
One of the guys had as a matter of fact, a little thing he
Selfie stick or
posted.
something?
Yeah, so he's like, you know, this is like the goal when you have this great selfie, and then the reality was him like laying on the ground trying to get this great selfie. He did get a good one.
They told us in Peru to do that with the alpacas, which was also a fairly difficult process, but fun nonetheless.
And I did it with the camels when I was there.
Oh, like those?
Like those.
Yes.
You would recommend the trip, I'm assuming, then, after having been.
Absolutely. Like, you know, in 5 days, we went camel rides, we did sandboarding, we did 4-wheel ATV tour in the sand dunes. It was amazing. And climbed Sydney Harbor Bridge and just all kinds of things. We saw the koalas right outside my room. Was a koala on a tree 10 feet outside my window.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Eating bamboo shoots,
You can actually stay at the zoo now in Sydney. Yeah, he was eating. Got a video on my Facebook page.
Well, it sounds like an amazing once-in-a-lifetime type of opportunity to go
Wonderful
and check
food
out.
and wine, too, the best.
Ooh.
Thanks for sharing it with us, making us all jealous.
You're welcome, my pleasure.
And our little Joey here.
Yeah, thanks for
Such a
taking
good
good care
job.
of him.
Still
I think he'd like
relatively
it.
inflated. We'll connect you with all the details about how you too can go on your very own adventure with Island Travel Group, perhaps to Australia, at our website, which is CILiving.tv.